Hey guys, today we're going to look at 10 big mistakes that so many people make before taking a cruise. The good news is that all of these things can actually be fixed before that cruise date rolls around. Guys, I'm Michael and welcome to Cruise Control. Here we offer tips, help, and maybe a few secrets to help save you time and money. So hey, subscribe and come be a part of our family. All right, guys. These are in no particular order, so let's start with number 10. Number 10 is going to be don't overpack. This is so easy to do for so many people. It's like, hey, I don't know really what I'm going to need, so I'm just going to take everything. Please don't do that. You'll really wish you hadn't. I know sometimes a lot of people think about the formal night, and well, what am I going to wear? I'll just take several changes and I'll decide then. Please, please don't do that. There's several reasons for that. First of all, you're going to be carrying around all that luggage, oh my goodness, when you really don't need it. Second of all, you may want to buy souvenirs, you may want to buy t-shirts, you may find clothes, you may go shopping, things like that. And if you're already overpacked, you're not going to have room to bring anything back. Another thing you do keep in mind is that most of the ships do have laundry facilities if you need them. I would much rather do that than overpack. But now on the other side of that, of course, be sure you have everything you need, but just not a bunch of stuff you don't. All right, number 9. Big mistake. Don't forget to talk to your cell phone provider. You're going to be on a ship out in the middle of the ocean. Of course, you're going to be roaming for data, for your text messaging, for even phone calls, anything like that. Not to mention if you're flying as well. Now, a lot of people will say just keep your phone in airplane mode. Well, this is a good tip, very good tip. But for me, I always like to check with my provider and see if there's not something that they can offer me for a 1 month plan that can maybe cover me when you go, especially to the different ports. Say you're going to be in Grand Cayman or Cozumel, wherever. That would allow you to make international phone calls from maybe not from the ship, but from where you do port. You can maybe make phone calls. Call home, check on things. So that's always an option. I would strongly recommend talk to your cell phone provider, see if there's like a 1 month plan that they can give you, maybe 30-40 bucks, if it's worth the money to do that. Another thing to remember there is that the cruise ship usually will offer a data package. Usually, it's like $4 or $5 a day for just social media. It's not a bad deal really. That's something to look at as well. Okay, number 8. Don't forget to call your credit card company. When you go out of town, especially out of the country, oftentimes when you start using your credit card, this brings up a red flag. This is strange. And they will put a block on your account. This is not something you want to happen when you're on vacation. This actually happened to me. So it's a good idea. If you're going to be using maybe a couple different credit cards is what I usually do. And some of the companies will actually let you do it online. You can just tell them what dates that you're going to be out of the country and where you're going to be, so that when those kinds of charges come up, there's not a red flag or anything that's going to cause you problems. All right, number 7, plan transportation. In other words, if you're going to be flying in, you want to set up transportation as early as possible. Say like from the airport to the ship, or if you're staying overnight, you want to look at transportation, of course, to your hotel, or from your hotel to the ship, and likewise when you return from your cruise, your transportation back to the airport. Now, some of the cruise lines do have shuttles that you can set up ahead of time. Another thing is Uber. Of course, you can always use Uber, but this is something that you'll want to set up and have set up before you go. You can't just pick up your cell phone and call Uber and say, oh, I've never used Uber, but I want to. You need to have an account set up with them prior to that. So please keep that in mind for your transportation. You don't want to end up taking a taxi cab and paying a really premium price for that. Okay, number 6 is you want to have some cash. A lot of people, and I'm that way as well, I don't like carrying a lot of cash, and there's no need to really. But it's always good to have some cash with you. And what you'd want to do really is get some small bills, some ones, some fives. You may want to tip somebody along the way, a driver, for ground transportation, just different things that may come up. But also, when you're shopping in the islands or the different ports that you go to, a lot of times they would prefer cash, and they will actually give you a better deal. If you're paying in cash, you can actually get more merchandise, or you can get what merchandise you purchase at a lower price if you're using cash. So it's a good idea to remember to take a little bit of cash with you. All right, number 5. I'm going to say book excursions early. Now, not everybody goes on excursions, but if you think about, yeah, I think I might want to, do this or do that, some of the most popular excursions do sell out pretty quickly. So if it's something that you really want to do, you may want to go ahead and book that before you take out on your cruise because, like I say, they do sell out early. But that doesn't mean that they're going to. It just means that a lot of times they do. You can get online, you can get with the cruise company's website. You can also go to the different ports wherever you're going. There are other excursions that are not tied with the cruise line. But you may want to, just look those over, check them out before you go. If you don't book an excursion, you get on board, then you decide, well, yeah, I do want to maybe do something. Go down to guest services, see what they still have available. But anyway, if you can, book your excursion early. All right, number 4. Don't choose a noisy cabin on your cruise. Now, what I mean by that, I don't mean party people, things like that. What I'm talking about is there are cabins that can be under, say, the basketball court, the nightclub, the dining room. Depends on how the ship's actually laid out. Some interior rooms that are beside, like the elevators. Just look, at your deck plan when you go to choose your cabin, and try to make sure that you're not near something that's going to be really noisy for you, because that can be a bit of a problem, especially you're trying to sleep if you're a light sleeper. So if you can, just look over the deck plan before you choose your cabin on that one. Okay. Number 3 is something that not a lot of people think about, and that's medications. If you take medication, you want to be sure that you take your medication in your bottle, in your original medicine bottle that's got your name, your prescription. Oftentimes, people will have like a little dosage box that they plan out for the week, like a weekly planner for medication, and that's fine too. But what you don't want to do, you really don't want to dose that medicine out, take your little box with you, and not have your medicine bottles with you, because that could raise some questions, and if the very least slow you down. So you may want to take your medications in the bottle. When you get to your cabin on board, then divvy up your medicine as through the week like you normally would. Just a helpful tip there. All right, number 2. If you're going to be flying in, both of these last two we're going to deal with the airlines. If you're going to be flying in to board for your cruise, please don't fly in at the last minute. If you've anybody that's ever flown before, you know how things can go with airlines. You don't want to be delayed. Uh, one flight delay and you miss the whole cruise. I mean, it's over. A lot of people will go in the day before, and that's honestly what I do. I fly in the day before. That way, I'm rested up. Get up the next day. All you got to do is make it over to the port. You're good to go. But please, just don't fly in at the last minute. That's going to cause you all kinds of stress. And that brings us to number one. Don't book your return flight too early. Oh, I actually did this on my first cruise. You talk about stress. Ouch. It says the ship, okay, will be there at 8 o'clock in the morning. You're thinking, okay, 10:30. But actually, it takes a while to disembark. And the bigger ships, it's even longer. You got to allow yourself time to get off that ship, get to the airport, get through, get your luggage checked, all that. So please don't book your return flight too early. All right, guys. Hey, check out our cruise and travel gear. It's listed in the description below. You might find something you need for that next cruise or that next vacation. And hey, hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching. Again, my name's Michael, and I will see you next time.